So here's an update on the garden. It's about 4 weeks since the last video. The cucumbers haven't been doing that great, but the lettuce in between is coming up fine, and we'll have fresh lettuce soon. The onions are going crazy this year and doing well. The pole beans have really taken off. They're starting to climb the pole. The rhubarb, as you can see, is, boy, that, as Charles says, that's a stud. I mean, we're going to get a nice second crop this year. And the freezer already has a bunch, so that's great. The straw bales are doing okay. The onions are growing up the side. And I had a few times where I wasn't watering enough and the peppers were wilting, but everything seems to be doing fine now. The tomatoes are good, but the peppers are not as big as the peppers in the regular garden. Maybe I planted too much in there, maybe they don't like it, who knows, but every day I get a good crop of mushrooms that then dry out in the afternoon sun, and every morning they're up again. So I think the bale is composting nicely, and we'll see how they do. The tomatoes have really started to climb. Over here we have some new rhubarb, and look at those potatoes. I had no idea how big those plants got. I have onions on one side. On the back side of the potatoes are carrots, who are probably going to get shaded out by these massive potatoes. And I just mounted dirt on them. I'm kind of learning what you should do with them. Over here the shallots are doing fabulously. Another crop of beans is coming up. The melon is not doing that great, but the rest of the vining plants are. All the summer squash and regular squash seem to really be coming. I have never had peas like this. I never had something adequate for them to grow upon, and I planted the peas the same width apart as previous years, but my plants were always kind of scrawny. These plants have just taken off. I don't know if it's the mending the soil this year, if it's more compost in the soil and more organic matter, or what it is. Maybe it's just the type of peas I'm growing. This first crop of lettuce is almost done. It's starting to get a little tough and bitter. And in the front here, not very much success with carrots and beets, as I've had an ant problem. I can only assume it's ants who are eating the leaves, the tops off these seedlings, because I imagine that if it were bunnies, that the more things would be eaten, more of the other stuff. And we don't have many bunnies in the yard with Olive and Kitty Cat. Over here you can see the peppers are really starting to grow nicely. Some more beets are doing well. I need to plant some more seeds. I don't know if I thin them too vigorously, but I do have room for a few more. And a lot of peppers, and they're doing well. And then tomato plants. So that's the update on the garden.